a very in-depth and critical question for those of us that are writing the utme examination, regardless of the school that you are preparing for. Now, questions like this are quite technical, but some persons usually encounter difficulty in going through questions like this. So what we would do is say, we're using this question to explain so many things like we usually do. So if you go through my channel, you see that the videos there are very critical. So please, those of us that are seeing this video for the first time, take your time to go through my previous videos so that you get to understand some certain areas of chemistry and of course biology. Now quickly, and before I proceed, there is a WhatsApp group that those of us that are writing post UCM you should belong to. What do I do in that WhatsApp group? I usually drop critical questions, trying to analyze those questions just like we are doing here, so that you'll be able to make yourself aware of this question. Now, to join the group is just 1,000 naira for a month. So do well to message me on my WhatsApp, and of course, do well to join the group. Quickly, Moku break this guy down fast, time not day. Now they said how many atoms of oxygen are present in 8.8 grams of carbon dioxide. Now look at this guy here now, these two guys, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Now remember, they're asking us for the number of what? Number of atoms. Now I don't want you to waste time. You have to be very, very cautious while you're solving this question. Now, first thing, when you hear number of atoms, what should come into your mind? Now, according to that Avogadro's law, it says that what? 1 mole of a substance contains what? The Avogadro's number times 10 raised to power 23 what? 23 atoms. Now, because they are saying atoms here, so we have to be very careful. Now, come back. Remember, they said how many atoms of oxygen are present in 8.8 grams of carbon dioxide? Oh, relax. They did not give us the mass of oxygen. They gave us the mass of carbon dioxide. So please, at deep in they gave us the mass of oxygen. You know what you would have done? It would have been very, very, very much easier. What you would have done is that you'd have converted the mass of oxygen that they gave to you. Number of mole is equals to mass over molar mass. Sure, you get them. So then when you get the number of moles, then you can now relate it. Say this moles gives X, so you cross multiply, check them, you don't get your answer. But the problem with this question be say they did not give us the mass of oxygen. Instead, they gave us the mass of what? Carbon dioxide. So the first step I would do is that I want to know the mass of oxygen inside this mass of carbon dioxide. Sure, you they get them now. So very quickly, you no go waste time. How you want to do that kind of thing? You will come here and you will say, remember carbon dioxide and CO2. You know, be small picking. Suppose know that this is the formula of what? Of carbon dioxide. Now, I want to get the mass of oxygen inside the mass of carbon dioxide that they gave to us. Now, how do I do that? I will now say 2 bracket oxygen. Now, this oxygen here, I'm having 2 atoms of oxygen carbon dioxide over carbon dioxide times the what? Times the mass of the carbon dioxide that they gave to us. So you get them now times 8.8. So this is how to get the mass of an atom when they give you the mass of a compound. Show you the get. So for in a situation where they give you, they say calculate the mass of sodium in sodium chloride. So all you have to do, if they give you the mass of sodium chloride, all you have to say sodium over what? Sodium chloride times the mass that they gave to you. So be very careful with that. So quickly, make we take this guy down. Now remember, it will now be 2 brackets 16 over. If you do the molar mass of carbon dioxide, you're going to get what? 44 times 8.8. Quickly, make we match our calculator. Time no day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what will you do here? It will now be what? It will now be 32 over 44 times 8.8, which is equals to, so you punch it in your calculator. It will now be what? It will now be what? It will now be what? 32 divided by 44 times 8.8. Now, what would you have there? You have what? 6.4 grams. Now, please, this is the mass of the what? Of the oxygen that is present in this mass of carbon dioxide. So the next point now you need to make is that I need to get the mass, or rather the number of moles of oxygen in this place. Therefore, I will bring it out. It will now be number of moles is equals to mass over molar mass. So they take a small JJ. Therefore, number of moles is now equals to, what's the mass? 6.4 over what's the molar mass? Remember they say atoms. Some persons will go and make a mistake and use 32, but because they say atoms, 1 atom, it will now be what? 16. So if you match them for calculator, 6.4 divided by 16, you are going to get what? You are going to get 0.4. Show you the same now. Remember, this now is the moles. This is the number of moles in 8.8 grams of carbon dioxide. Show you get the picture now. Therefore, you cannot relate. If 1 mole contains 6.02 times 10 raised to the power 23 atoms. Therefore, 0.4 moles will now give me what? X. cross multiply. X is now equals to 0.4 times 6.02 times 10 raised to the power what? 23. Now, if you punch this in calculator, X is equals to what? Times 6.02 times 10 raised to the power 23. You are going to get what? You are going to get 2.408 times 10 raised to the power what? 23. Chakam, that will be your answer. So ladies and gentlemen, while I was solving this question, put your mind. I brought out how you can get the mass of an atom in a compound. You get them. So when we got the mass, what were we trying to calculate for here? We're trying to get the mass of oxygen in this compound. But at the beginning, they gave us the mass of oxygen. Sharp, sharp. We go put them, can convert them to number of moles, then relate them. Show you they get the picture now. So these are the kind of questions that we're going to be analyzing in my channel here, and of course in the group. Do well to join the group, and of course you want to message me, my number is in my bio. Do well to message me or make a comment. I'll drop my WhatsApp number there. Then of course you can get to pay for the group. It's just 1,000 naira, nothing there now.